and girls, today we're going to make a dream catcher. And you're going to start with a piece of wire like this. You're going to want to kind of gently maneuver it so that it makes a nice circle. And then you're going to take a piece of tape and tape it over the place where your two ends meet. And be careful because those ends can be a little bit sharp. So you're just gonna, that's my dog drinking water in the background. You can hear that. You're just going to wrap your wire, or I'm sorry, your tape around there so that it holds your two ends of wire together. Now that's not, don't pull on it because it will come loose. Then you're going to start with a piece of yarn. You don't want to get it too long because it'll get twisted into knots, but you're just gonna take it to start with and tie it in a knot. Make sure you tie it twice so that it's good and tight. Maybe. Okay. And then my yarn is actually in a ball, so I can just use mine, but yours might be a longer piece. You might want to ball it up. And you're going to just hold it and start taking the yarn, just wrapping it around the wire.
Mommy, I need more chicken.
Oh, my son needs some more chicken, so we'll take a little break. Okay, so once you get going, you can go pretty quickly just wrapping this around. But then see how there's so much space in between. You want to pull this and you want to squish it together so that you're actually covering all of the wire. Alright, so now I'm working to get the full circle covered, and then we'll come back to see what our next step is. Okay, boys and girls, you can see that I've wound all the way around the whole circle. So I'm back to where I started, and I really should have made this tail a little bit longer. But what you're going to do now is tie a knot so that your beginning tail and your end tail, again, make sure you pull it tight and you make at least 2 knots. Okay, and then you're going to trim this off. Don't cut that too short or else your knot will come apart. Now you get to do the decorating, and you can, and you're, see how my yarn is coming apart a little bit? That's okay. It'll come together and it'll fill in. You're going to want to make some kind of web here in the middle of the circle, and that can be any way you want. You pull it to where you want it and then loop it around the wire. So there I came there, so let's say I want to go here now and loop it around the wire. And then come across here. And again, this pattern is just whatever you want it to be. There's no right or wrong pattern here. Just make sure that you're looping it around your wire so that it holds it in place. And then the next thing is that you're going to have some beads. So you can either weave the beads in here, which if you, let's say you wanted to weave a bead, so you would just put the yarn through there and then take it to where you want it next. Okay, now you can see I have 2 beads in here, and again, just make sure you loop it around the wire. So whenever you get your design to how you want it, you just need to tie it. So you're going to bring it through and make sure that you tie a knot. When you get the center the way you want it, you're just going to make sure that you make a knot And again, tie it tight. Because if your knots aren't tight, they won't, it'll fall apart. Okay? And so you're going to trim that off. So now I have the web part. The things that I need to add onto it, and again, this is you know, your choice how you would like to do this. But you're going to want to put a loop on the top for hanging it. And then you're going to put, if you're using feathers, put 3 strands down here, and you can put beads on them if you want. So if, let's say, to do my loop at the top, just take a piece of yarn like about that long, put it through here, tie a knot, and then take the 2 ends of your yarn and just tie them together in the same knot. And again, this is just a suggestion. However you want to do it is fine. And then when you tie that, you'll have a loop like that for hanging it. So I'm going to do 3 ropes down from the bottom, and I'll just tie each one on right here. I'll tie one here, and one here. And then I'll come back and show you what it looks like then. Okay, boys and girls, so this is what I've got so far. So I'm going to show you how I finish this off with this last one. I took 3 beads, and I strung them on. And I took my feather and I actually wrapped the yarn around the feather stem a few times, and then I tied it in a knot. You can trim off this extra, and then you can actually have your beads kind of go down over the end of your feather. Now, the feathers aren't on there real good because they're just a shaft, so they won't pull out of that yarn. But there you have your finished Dreamcatcher.